Hello, my name is Jared Hyde,
And I'm Tanner Glenn.
and we are going to present to you a quick summary of the great sport of cornhole. So, cornhole is mostly played in North America and Europe, but they do play cornhole in Asia, but not to the extent that we played here in the US. It's very popular during parties and really any general gathering of people, but due to leagues and organizations popping up, cornhole is really starting to be played in small arenas. The origins of cornhole are vague and disputed, but there are many different theories. But a select number of theories really tend to dominate. The first theory is a 14th century Bavarian villager named Matthias Cooperman crafted the first set of cornhole boards and bags. A second theory is that Native Americans who lived in the Midwest region of the U.S. invented the game of cornhole. The third theory is that a farmer in Kentucky named Jebediah McGillicuddy invented the game with materials that he had around his farm. The last theory probably has the most concrete evidence, and that's several versions of a game called parlor quoits, which is really similar to horseshoes, existed, but a man named Heiliger de Wint was the first to utilize bean bags and then a slanted board as well as a hole for the target bag. Cornhole matches are played with two sets of bags, two boards, and either 2 or 4 players, depending on the type of match. Cornhole matches are broken down into innings, or they're also known as frames of play, and there are 2 different types of matches that exist, singles or doubles. For a singles match, both players start the game at the headboard and will alternate pitching their bags until each player has pitched all 4 bags. So the first player pitches all 4 bags in succession, and then the second player then pitches all 4 of their bags in succession. The top of an inning is complete when the first player pitches all 4 bags, and the bottom of an inning is complete when the second player pitches all 4 of their bags. For doubles match, it's exactly the same as a singles match, except now 2 players stand at the headboard and 2 players stand at the footboard, and the footboard is simply just the other slanted board across from the headboard. The top of an inning is complete when both players at the headboard have pitched their bags, and then the bottom of an inning is complete when the remaining players have pitched their bags from the footboard. There are a surprisingly large amount of rules for cornhole, so I tried to pick the ones that were most important. So for equipment, the rules state that the boards must be a certain length and thickness. The rules also state that you can use different kinds of paint as long as they're really not too slippery. And then the cornhole bags must be a certain dimension, and they must be filled with approximately 2 cups of feed corn. Here's a picture of some cornhole bags and slanted boards that are used by the American Cornhole Organization. All these are regulation, size, and shape. So regarding the point system, cancellation scoring simply means that the points of one player cancels out the points of their opponent. And a woody is any bag that comes to rest anywhere on top of the board, and that's worth 1 point. And a cornhole is any bag which is thrown through the hole or knocked through the hole, and that's worth 3 points. Regarding the position of players, a player who is actively throwing their bag is known as a pitcher, and they must be within the pitcher's box or behind the foul line at the time of release. And then from within the designated pitcher's box, a pitcher, aka player, is pitch all 4 bags. I wanted to show you an illustration of a cornhole court or field, I guess so to speak. This illustration really shows that the foul line that I mentioned in the previous slide, as well as the pitcher's box, is on either side of the slanted board. The length of the game is predetermined to be 21 points, and the first player or team to reach or exceed 21 points at the end of an inning is declared the winner. The primary leagues of cornhole are the American Cornhole Organization, the American Cornhole Association, and the American Cornhole League. And as far as revenue is concerned, the cornhole leagues have several streams. Like the NFL, the most important revenue stream is brought mostly from ESPN3 and ESPN2. All 3 leagues have membership fees for the players as well as the directors. All 3 leagues have tournament fees, which can range from $5 to $100 depending on the particular tournament at the time and depending on which league is hosting that tournament. And all 3 leagues also have sponsorship deals. And last but not least, all 3 leagues sell memorabilia and merchandise. Over the last year, the ACL had roughly $5 million in total revenue. And from what I could find, the major costs are really just the payouts and the prizes that are paid to the players during the tournaments.
So the top athletes include Cody Henderson. He's supposed to be one of the best. He's a top-ranked player in the United States. In 2019, he earned over $250,000. The 2 top ACL players are Jimmy McGuffin and James Baldwin. James is notorious because he never takes his sunglasses off when he plays, even though the games are indoors. The 2 top ACO players are Caleb Hurt and DJ Long. The top players can earn around $60,000. College players earn around $15,000 as a team or $10,000 individually for winning the national championship. So is there a players union, and what is the relationship between the players and the owners? There is no players union, though there are associations and organizations that promote playing cornhole, like the American Cornhole Association, American Cornhole Organization, and the Cornhole Players Association. Some colleges also have cornhole teams. These teams play in the American Cornhole League. The relationship between the players and the 300 directors publicly appears to be good. There are a few controversies that have been involved in organized cornhole competition. So, what are the big events that this sport plays, and how much are the ticket prices? So, there's a world championship. In 2019, the world champion earned $250,000 for just winning the championship. In 2020, the winner won just under $1 million. So the entry fee for a competition in Holt, Missouri that was held on November 28th was around $20. In January, there's a 2021 kickoff, which would be considered a large event for the sport, and the payout to win this is $40,000. So as of now, the leagues do not promote competitive balance. Organized leagues for the sport have only been around since 2005. So is the sport growing in popularity, and are the leagues expanding? So the sport is growing in popularity. On their website, they claim they are the fastest growing sport in America. The ACL signed a multi-year contract to broadcast the championship and other events. The game is broadcasted for about 30 hours annually across ESPN's platforms. The ACL commissioner says the deal has helped to legitimize the organization and is a boost to the 50,000 competitive players worldwide. With this being said, we can expect cornhole to grow in popularity across the U.S., and with so many amateur players, there's a chance the sport will also gain during this trend.
Okay, so in conclusion, cornhole is really experiencing a transition from backyard pastime to professional sport. Cornhole is really undergoing a rapid increase in popularity, with an increase in memberships across all major leagues and organizations, and broadcasting deals with ESPN is one should really ensure a strong professional foothold in North America and Europe for many years. And that's all we have for you today, and thank you for listening.